now flex, alive is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, tryna stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, hold on. 1 second. I just started. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, let me handle this business. Stormy, if you're there, just take over for me. I'll be right back.
You jive suckers, what you out here doing, man? I'm in here to tell you something that you need to know. Hey, what's good, y'all? We back for another LDBC Strong episode number 157. And we're hoping everyone's had a great weekend. We had some interesting fights yesterday. The fight that took place between Tim Tszyu and Tony Harrison was a bit of an exciting match. The outcome wasn't what most had hoped for, but at the same time, the reality is Tim Tszyu came out ahead, and that was kind of what the consensus was. And I have to tell you, if there were a real threat that Tszyu may not win that fight, they may not have gone through with that promotion. That's what's real. And you have to understand, at that level of the sport, they do their due diligence in looking for opponents, especially when they want to fill in when someone has been injured and someone wants to remain busy. So options arise, and they do look to see what they can get done so they can't lose that opportunity that they're waiting for. And in this instance, we're talking about Tszyu waiting for the opportunity to challenge for the undisputed junior middleweight championship, held with the death-like grip by Jermell Charlo. Now he gets a chance to see exactly if he's bitten off more than he can chew. And I think we'll all be there to watch. What's good, family? Smash that like button as you come into the building. Drew Titan has abandoned ship, so I expect that if some of you have life jackets and safety exits, you may want to become familiar. Because if the ship is going down, Stormy ain't saving near one of y'all. You understand? I ain't that type of guy. I ain't no hero. It's every man for himself. You got me? See who we got in the building here. Mo Boxing out there. I guess he just abandoned Stormy because he don't come around my channel too much no more. Prolific One is out there saying salute. Big homie Coop in the building. Omega Red is out there. LDBC or nothing. Daniel Mitchell is in the building. D-Man Jr. is in the building. Learn is over here trying to teach. What's that all about? Joseph Wiggins in the house. 88 Sports Talk. What's good with you, brother? Dave the Real Thomas is in the building. Where the fake one at? Jay Grant Jr. is in the building saying salute, Stormy. What's good with you? Big Cup of Joe, huh? Who else? $1 Trillion Dreams is asking what happened to Drew. I took him out. What you gonna do about it, $1 Trillion? Huh? He ain't here. I'm here. Don't you see? It says the sensei up there. And if we decide to change the title of the show, huh? What you gonna do about that? Huh? Write a letter to YouTube? Huh? What happened to Drew? This is his channel. It's been taken over by the ops. You know? I mean, you coming in here like you somebody daddy or something. You ain't. Huh? Come in. What happened to Drew? Huh? He got jacked up. That's what happened to him. What you gonna do about it? Huh? Well, I tell you. Turn your $1 trillion dreams into a $2 nightmare up in here. Youngster. Okay. Okay.
Hold on, we trying to get Andrew to come through. There's a problem with the StreamYard on his end. I'll be right back. I'm working on it. We working on it, family. We working on it.
Nah, Josh, I haven't taken over as host tonight. I have a bit of a scratchy throat though. Trying to get that taken care of. I wasn't expecting to have to talk too much. You know, but see, it's other people out there talking too much, calling me youngster and everything. You know, I've earned my stripes out here. And some people ain't earned a damn thing. But that's okay. You know, it's okay. Just because you ain't from Missouri don't mean you can't be shown, huh? Opulent LD, AJ64, what's good with you? Anthony Bolton.
What's going on, y'all? This is technical difficulties right here. I'm putting a link in the chat That's only for the brother Andrew Council. All right, he's having a problem connecting. That's only for Andrew Council. All right. If not, we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way and just do it over the phone. But I prefer to get them on here. Salute to everybody, man. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is why we try and go on early so we can get things popping. You know, I ain't got much time this evening, but for those of you that don't know, Andrew Council, well, to me, see, a lot of y'all only know him as he's the current trainer of Jared Hurd, but a lot of y'all don't know that he had a career prior to that. He fought Winky Wright. He stopped Buddy McGirt. He fought Bernard Hopkins. I think he fought Keith Holmes a couple of times too. What's his record? 31 wins, 20 stoppages, 8 losses, 3 draws. Career middleweight. You can watch him on YouTube. When he fought up Buddy McGirt. The fight's up there. I think Buddy was en route to trying to get his career back on track, trying to get in the title contention, and Andrew Council came through and said, "Nah, not on my watch." You know what I mean? So he came in there and he actually stopped Buddy McGirt. You know, he's a trainer, but you know, y'all do know that he had a career prior to that, right? Inside the ring. Yeah, Andrew Council was a dog out of the DMV area, man. He was a complete and total dog, man. He was a dog. Had really good defense, man. He's never been stopped. So yeah, man. So while we're trying to work that out, he's listening right now. I'm trying to I put that link in there. That's for him. The StreamYard. Oh, you sent it to him? Yeah, StreamYard is acting weird. Yo, Trick, if you can't get him on by way of StreamYard, we'll just have to do it over the phone. You know, I hate to like do that because, you know, sometimes when you send the link, Google start asking you 1,000,000,001 questions. It's like, yo, just click the damn link, and they should let people click the link. And I don't know why it just acts real silly. Let's see if he put that in the chat again. Andrew, if you click that link right there, Andrew. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, Mr. Roll Call, man, salute to y'all. Sensei, how you doing, man? You good, brother?
I got a little bit of a parched throat this evening, but I was insulting your guests as they were coming into the chat this evening as only I can. So I kept it entertaining. You know, let them know that the show had been hijacked and that if they was looking for you, they should look for the exits and bring their parachute complete with ripcords, because I ain't saving a damn person.
Oh, man. Look at this camera. Yeah.
And the numbers seem to go up after that. So I don't know if I was responsible for that or not.
I don't know. It's kind of like, do they love you or not? It's like sometimes you don't know. It's like, well, do they like me or not? I don't know. Why is my camera doing this? Oh my gosh. Hold on, man. I'll be right back.
So y'all seeing more of me tonight than you want to. See?
Yeah, this is weird. Night of technical difficulties. Well, until we can work this out with Andrew, it looks like we just gonna have to call him on the phone. Get him on here. He's trying to get on right now. But you know, we got a lot of questions. In the meantime, let us discuss. Well, by the way, first of all, hell of a post fight last night. Hell of a post fight last night, man. That That was flamed. As a matter of fact, if y'all missed it, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all should go watch Stormy's post fight from last night off of the Tony Harrison fight. To me, it was fucking target practice. I mean, hey man, already gave y'all my 2 cents if y'all watch my video. You know what I'm saying? I gave you my 2 cents on that. You know, boxing is a strange sport sometimes, and it's like I'll listen to the commentary, and several times I heard the announcers talk about how small the ring was. It ain't look that small to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a 20 by 20, but it's irrelevant because Tony's a professional. He's been boxing a lot longer than a lot of people probably in the chat's been alive, but he's a professional. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why he decided to fight off the ropes. And when he fought off the ropes, well, on the ropes, he was fighting in a damn pocket. And there were things that I was watching and I didn't understand it. It's like the first time you saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight flat-footed. Didn't it throw you off? Like, huh? What happened? Oh, he's older now. He's a little heavier now, you know? And then it's like, oh man, it's a different guy. He has to fight with what his body's allowing him to do. But I didn't think that Tony would do that shit that we saw last night. Now, I have my own personal opinions about what he should do moving forward, but I don't think that was an off night. I just think he gave Tim Tszyu everything he needed to be victorious. Laying on those ropes, it looked like, and dare I say, it looked like a glorified sparring session. That's what it looked like. And I just don't like. There go Andrew right here. What's up, Brody? Yeah, salute, Andrew. You know what you do, Andrew? Trick, call him on the phone, or give him my number. Tell him to call my phone. I can get you on here through the speaker. Everyone will hear you just fine. Now, how they letting the brother super chat? And here it is. Here it is. All right, let me plug this up. Here we go. Andrew.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. How you feel?
I'm feeling fine. I'm sorry I couldn't get through on a video chat, man. They keep telling me to go to all these different links. So I don't know what's going on with that.
They putting you through the motions. I don't understand what they're doing, man. But this is option B. So we cool here, brother, man. For real, man. Man, how you doing, good brother?
I'm doing fine in yourself.
Man, I'm doing great, man. For those of people that don't know who you are, let the audience know who you are, good brother.
My name is Andrew Council Jr. The former number 3 middleweight in the world for like 5 years straight.
Number 3 middleweight in the world for 5 years straight. I was just telling the audience, because some people know, some people don't know. I said, look, if you Google this man's name, you'll see names on his resume like Ronald Winky, right? You fought Keith Holmes like twice, right?
Yeah, for Keith Holmes twice.
Yeah, we had Keith on the show a while ago too. You fought you knocked out Buddy McGurk. That was crazy. Because when I forgot I watched that fight. And then I saw the highlights on YouTube and I said, "Oh shit, I remember this." Because I think Buddy was trying to get back in the title contention.
Yeah, he actually had he was scheduled. If he would have beat me, he was scheduled to fight Roy Jones because he had fought 2 other middleweights, and they was getting himself back in the groove to try to make a big fight with Roy Jones.
Right. Right. And you said, "Hold my beer," and you put an end to that shit. That was crazy. Yeah, because you wasn't favored to win that.
Yeah. No, I wasn't favored to win that, but they asked me what did I want to take that fight, and I was like, sure. I was already in the gym, stayed in the gym, so it was a no brainer to make me fight him.
Yeah, man. And shit. He got well. He didn't get too lucky because you stopped him, but I think that was round 7. You dropped him.
Yeah, round 7. Then I stopped him around 9.
Yeah, 7. He had got up, but I was saying, man, they need to stop this because he didn't look good at all. I was like, it's only a matter of time. Round 9, you stopped him, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
So take us through. Like I said, tonight this show's about you, man. Take us through. Oh, and by the way, y'all, he's out the DMV. DMV, stand up. You heard? A salute to TD Harden in that super chat. He said, just checking in, Titan. Ranked for 5 years. Yeah, man. Ranked number 3 for 5 years, y'all. Ranked number 3 for 5 years. This is one of those fighters that was like right there in the pocket in the 90s and right over our heads. You know what I'm saying? Or like on the radar, a legitimate threat. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I do these shows, y'all. This is why I do these shows. These are guys that you talk to any high caliber fighter, they start saying names about who was a problem. What I tell you about Freddie Pendleton. You know what I'm saying? He was one of those guys. He was a problem, man. This is what I'm saying. So, Andrew, take us through the same things that people probably ask you a million times. How'd you get into boxing?
Well, I actually got into boxing late. I got into boxing late. A comedian that everybody knows in my neighborhood, which was Tommy Davidson, and I used to see him running all the time in shadow boxing and stuff. And when I used to see him running in shadow boxing, I was like, man, he boxing, man. I think I'm gonna do that. And a lot of people didn't know that he boxed because he was a comedian. And I had asked him one day where did he train at, and he told me where he was training at, and I went to the gym. Actually, the first time I went to that gym, I actually quit. I was like, man, this shit hard. I ain't doing this shit. But then I realized, like, nah, man, that ain't you. I came back like a week later, and then I stuck with it.
How old were you?
I was in and out the gym. Let's say I turned pro at 23, so I could have been 19. I started late, but I was always just fighting and stuff on the street. So it was kind of like me just transferring over from street fighting and getting to the boxing game, learning the basic fundamentals of boxing. Yeah, but wow. I turned pro at 23. Only had 17 amateur fights. I just like to fight.
Damn, you, bro. You started at 19, and you in number 3 for 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I came from a gym where I had a lot of good fighters in the gym, so I learned from the guys that in the gym for me, in the gym with me, spawned all the top guys in the area. So it definitely was a learning curve. Like I said, I was just a guy in the street doing the wrong thing, body punching and stuff like that, and just boxing is a better outlet for me.
Man, damn, I got so many questions in so little time. Okay, so let me jump ahead for a second. So you cracked the top 10, right? You cracked the top 10. What was when you got that number 3 ranking? Who did you beat to get that ranking? Do you remember?
I don't remember who I beat at that time, but when I was coming up, I fought a lot of undefeated prospects, what they call prospects along the way, and I fought a lot of guys that were signed with top rank at the time. I actually fought a guy named I fought man, when I first started off, I fought a lot of, when I was like 3-0, I fought a guy named Lonnie Davis, which was 3-0. He beat me, but I thought I beat him, so we came back and did it again. Then we fought again, then I fought him to a draw. That's when I learned about the game, meaning when you with certain people and you fighting in their hometown and they connected like that, That's when I learned that. That's when I learned that them draws really a win because you fighting the A side person.
Mm.
So I had a roller coaster ride when I started off because I was fighting a lot of like undefeated guys. My fourth fight, I actually fought a guy from DC, which was Robert Boo Boo Sawyer. He was like 13 and something. Okay, 13 and something. I don't know. He had 13 and he's like a 50-50 fighter, but it was a big fight for me because it was only my fourth fight. And he had like, I think it was like 13 and 13. He had like 26 fights at the time. So that was a step up fight for me. And I started, I think I was 4-1 at the time. Everybody else I started off with probably undefeated. But I think my major breakthrough is when I fought a guy at the Sands Casino in Atlantic City, which is Top Rank had signed a guy named Patrick Kahn. He was undefeated 5-0. And he had beat two guys from the area. He had beat Maurice Adams, was a good fighter from our area. Then he had beat Curtis Peoples, which was another good fighter from our area that did good in the pros. So I told my coach, I said, man, I want to fight that guy. He's like, man, you want to fight him? He's like, he with Top Rank ESPN. I was like, man, I could beat that guy. So I fought the guy in Atlanta. I fought this guy in Atlantic City, and all these fights taught me the game. I actually cut the person, knocked him down real bad. They actually waved. This is probably gonna shock you. They actually waved the fight off, cleaned his cut off, and said, "Continue to fight." So I'm celebrating like I already won. What you mean, right? Then I was like, man, they trying to beat me. So they gave him like 2 minutes, clean his face and everything, and told us continue to fight. I walked straight back out to him, threw a straight right hand, and I knocked him slam out. And I said, y'all can't cheat me no more. He was undefeated.
What sanctioning body was that? WBC, WBO?
No. This is me climbing the ladder.
Oh, okay. This going up.
Yeah,
okay.
This is when I started. I probably, I don't know, it was eighth or ninth fight or something like that. But he was undefeated. His name was Patrick Kahn. Yep. So I fought a lot of undefeated guys climbing the ladder. I didn't have no promoter or nothing like that. I was just like, man, I'm gonna fight whoever they put in front of me. I don't care. I ain't ducking no fights. It is what it is. That was my attitude.
You probably spoiled a lot of guys that they probably had plans for.
Yeah, that was one of them. One of the things I wanted to say this about that because I remember Andrew. Andrew, my name is Stormy B Man here. I collaborate with Drew on Sunday nights here on the show. Much respect and thank you for joining us this evening. I wanted to say something about that Patrick Kahn fight because it's funny. They were trying to cheat you and everything, but when you go back, when you go back and you check BoxRec, your picture is up there, but his picture is just like an outline of a man's head.
They got the picture up there. What?
They got your picture up there, but his picture is like it's outlined in chalk, like he doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That he's not there. No one can pick him out of a lineup. So if you ain't see the fight, you don't know how he look.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
You gotta forgive me. I got a raw sense of humor, man. But I wanted to chime in with that because I'm like, it's great for you,
I beat him. That's kind of like, it kind of opened it. They gave me some more. They gave me some fights up in Atlantic City. I stayed up in Atlantic City a lot too. Yeah.
Oh man, he's outlined in chalk, man. So did you ever So wait, you started your career at 147 or lower?
No, 154.
154. Okay.
Yeah,
so at what point was you ever on the brink outside of the Bernard Hopkins of the world? Was there any other fights in your timeline in your weight class, whether it was 54 or 60, whether someone wanted to fight you at a catch weight or you want to fight somebody at a catch weight? Were there any other names that you almost fought that we would know about that didn't happen? And if so, if that happened, why didn't those fights happen?
A lot of politics it's a lot of politics in the game,
Yeah.
and I'm cool with a lot of people now, so I'm not gonna open up certain things. But I fought a guy named Tony Marshall. They had just opened up a new venue in Philly, the new convention center. I think that was in 1994. And me and Tony Marshall fought, and we fought to a draw, and I clearly beat him. But we was both ranked. I was number 5 or something like that. He was number 4, and the winner between me and him was going to fight, lining up to fight the guy for the championship. I can't think of his name right now, but that guy fought Raul Marquez at the time. So certain fights I was trying to get, they didn't allow me to they didn't allow me to get, because I think at the time William Joppy had a belt, Keith Holmes fought, or Quincy Taylor. Joppy fought the dude from over England, and I was right behind Joppy in the rating. So certain fights I was trying to get, some of the people from here blocked them type of fights because they didn't want me and William Joppy to meet up. So I couldn't get some of the fights I wanted. They was throwing roadblocks.
So they didn't want you to face William Joppy, who's also been on. I think William Joppy was like one of our first or second guests. So they didn't want you to face William Joppy?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah. But man, that's why I said certain things. Man, Joppy is cool. Man, Keith is cool. I mean, that's part of the game. It's when you get to a high level like that, it's like certain fights. Even when you see the fights now, you be wondering why certain fights don't fight, because you got other people that's putting roadblocks. They might not want certain people to fight certain people right then and there, because it can mess up other plans that they might have.
Hey, I got a question. Andrew, was it Fernando Vargas you might have supposed to been fighting? Because remember, Raul Marquez had fought him for the title.
Yeah, but it was another guy. I can't think. It was the guy overseas too. They fought. I can't think of his name right now. Yeah, but Fernando Vargas he was younger than me.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. This was at 160, right? When
No, at
54.
No, at 154.
This is at 54 in what year?
Oh man,
like 97-ish.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
I'm trying to see how good my memory is, but nah.
Because I fought Keith in 94. So I fought Keith in 94, for Bernard in 95, Winky in 96. It's right in that time, right in there. And I had moved after I fought Winky Wright. I moved up in weight.
Yeah. I remember the Keith Holmes fight, and funny thing about that was Keith Holmes used to wear the Mexican band trunks, where the elastic on the band is really wide.
The Mexican band trunks.
The Mexicans always wear them, it's like almost 6 inches, man. The band that go across the waist, so he could wear his trunks up real high,
Yeah.
And they was trying to deduct points for you for low blows in that fight. But the dude he wore his trunks almost up by his chest plate.
His trunks damn near an inch from his bottom nipples. I mean, it's crazy. And Keith Holmes is tall. Keith
man.
Tall, man. I was like, why is his trunk so goddamn high? Come on, brother. He knew better than that. And salute to my brother T.D. Harden. He said, tighten your breath and fresh air, great content, man. Salute to you, good brother. Salute to you. Yeah, man. Keith.
That was a heck of a middleweight era, though, that you were in, man. There was some real good fighters in that era.
Yeah, back then it was a lot of good fights. It's not the same now, but it's a lot. It was a lot of good fights happening right then.
Yeah, it was a fun era, man. It was very, very, very fun. There was a lot of things going on between 54 and 60. Yeah, my brother Johnny Q, he wanted to know in depth, what was it like when you went up against Winky Wright? I remember that fight. I rewatched
Winky Wright. Winky Wright was to me. Winky Wright was the hardest. To me, he was the hardest fighter I had to fight compared to Bernard and Keith. Because when I fought Winky Wright, I was actually down north of Virginia training, and I was training with like Pernell and B. Scotland, Pernell Whitaker, B. Scotland, and Winky, man. I mean, shit, this dude. Y'all might have seen the older Winky after I fought him. He started doing a high guard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when I fought him, he was moving like Pernell Whitaker. I was like, man, this dude is not standing still for nothing. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had heard him one time. And after I heard him, he really started moving. So I had a lot of respect for him because he has a high IQ. He's very slick. He started doing a high guard later on after I fought him. But before that, nah, man, he used to move. If you go back and look at that fight, that guy was moving like I don't know what.
Yo,
he's definitely. That's just my opinion. I definitely think he was the best fighter I fought out of all of them.
If you watch that fight, one of the things that I saw, y'all kept stepping on each other's feet.
Yeah,
and it was like y'all was timing each other, like y'all was trying to punch over each other's jab.
Yeah,
and y'all were missing each other by inches. But there was one part where early in the fight, you did catch him. You punched him right on the top of the forehead. And then after that,
I think that was the worst thing that happened. Because after that quarter, his ass was gone. He was nasty. He was fucked.
He made sure that ain't happen again. I said, damn.
Yeah.
But that was the young Winky. That was a young Winky.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a young Winky.
Yeah.
And one thing too, Andrew, you like one of the few fighters I've seen push
another
Winky
guy
back.
named Michael Ward. It was from DC. He was a really, really, really good fighter. He ended up being like 24-3, maybe like 9 knockouts or something like that. He was signed through the Ray Leonard people. He was another real good fighter that I fought that people I don't think they give him the credit, but that guy can fight, man.
Man. Hey, Ant, what you said?
Michael Ward.
Ant, what you say, Ant? You said something, Ant.
Yeah, I was saying, even watching that Winky Wright fight, Andrew Council was one of the few fighters I've seen push Winky back. You notice Trinidad couldn't push him back. He was pushing Winky back in that fight, hit him with right hands and stuff. So, a lot of people don't realize that he's one of the few people that pushed Winky back and made him, fight on the back foot.
He made him fight off the back foot, man. And I had a thing with Felix Trinidad. I had a number of things with Felix, man. But by the time he fought Winky, it was like Felix needed a baseball bat and an iron mask to beat Winky. Because that was not as advertised. And again, y'all all know Freddie Pendleton was whooping on Felix's ass until that phantom situation happened to him. I mean, that shit was just crazy, man.
Hey, do y'all remember Robert Allen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Southpaw Robert Allen. Yep.
I was with Don King Production at the time, and me and Sean Bay Mitchell, we was down. We actually was down Louisiana. We was training, and I was scheduled just to do a regular fight, and the other fight, I wasn't really ready to fight a 12-round fight. And they asked me, "Look, man, we got this guy Robert Allen. You could fight for the WBC Intercontinental belt." And I was like, "Oh man, yeah." My mind was like, "Yeah," but I really wasn't ready to fight 12. So I took the fight anyway. So he edged me out. When I tell you, I was like, "Hold up, man! I done been in the ring with everybody that's somebody, and Bernard, and this and that." I said, "Man, this guy is strong as a mother. You know what? Like this shit don't feel normal, right?" So he asked me out, but I kept saying, "Look, man, I've been fighting a long time. I was Simon Brown, Spawn partner, Maurice Blocker. I done been in the ring with anybody you probably can think that's like that. I done been in the ring with." I was like, "Man, something is not right with this dude." So Robert Allen had a fight with Bernard. So I was sitting, me and Keith Holmes was ringside. So I'm telling Keith, I'm like, "Keith, look, man, this dude gonna beat Bernard." He like, "Why you say that, Drew?" I said, "Man, this motherfucker hit hard as shit, Keith." He like, "For real?" I'm like, "Man, listen, Keith, listen, big dog. Like people don't know. By the way, people don't know. Man, Keith Holmes, real good friend. So I'm telling Keith, we sitting watching the fight. I'm like, "Keith, this nigga can punch, dog. I'm telling you." So when he fought Bernard, it's like the second or third round. Bernard faked the injury, right? act like he hurt his leg slipped out.
Yes,
I remember that. Yep.
Slipped out the ring, right? I said, Keith, Bernard trying to check in because he gonna fuck Bernard up tonight. After the fight, Keith said, dude, how you know? I said, Keith, listen, man, I done fought you, I done fought Bernard. This motherfucker feel like he got bricks in his hands. Well, I said, something ain't right. He can punch. Yeah, years later, let me backtrack. Bernard came back and fought him the second time, and Bernard beat him. But a year later, they found out that he was cheating.
Oh.
They found out Robert Allen was cheating, and he got suspended.
What he got caught with?
Back then, I don't know if it was steroids, but I don't know what he was using, but he definitely got suspended. He was never the same because he was cheating. And after I found out, I told everybody, I told you this motherfucker, like I done been in there. Listen, man, I done been in there, spawn Keith, Joffrey, Simon Brown, whoever you want to name. Ain't nobody, I never felt a punch like that. And I was like, man, this dude cheating, man.
Time out,
Something ain't
Drew.
right.
Time out, Drew. I gotta hit it for my audience. Hold on.
That's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it? Oh, Frog Money Gordon, he did right. Crambo.
What? So Robert Allen was juicing.
Yeah.
Breaking news, niggas. We got another one. Goddamn 25 years later. What the fuck?
Yeah, he was built too, man. He was built.
Yo, he looked like he was ready to get on stage for a classic physique contest, and classic physique wasn't around back then. So you was in there getting fucked up by a juice head?
Yeah, he got caught though, so it came out.
See? But wait a minute. Yo, see, because you understand, Andrew, because we're in a time now where, fighters get jerked, and the first thing their fan base will say, the opposing fan base will say, well, it's their fault. You're blaming the fucking victim. That's what these niggas do today. They blame the victim. I ain't on that type of time.
It's a lot of them doing it, though.
Oh, say it again, brother. Say it again.
It's a lot of them doing that right now.
There it is. This is do you trust when people say, oh, no, this person can't get cheated because the sanctions are in the locker rooms watching hand wraps and everything? Do you trust these people?
No.
Enough said. I ain't gotta go into depth. I've heard stories. My brother Cano Loco said he's been in the room. These motherfuckers getting their hand wraps, and the motherfuckers that's supposed to be watching y'all are on their phones playing goddamn Candy Crush. They ain't watching shit. They ain't watching shit. Get out of here, man. This is crazy. Robert Allen in there on that Bane juice. Bane took the steroids and broke Batman's back. They on that shit. They on that venom. Getting in the fucking ring. You telling people Bernard Hopkins was smart enough to fake an injury. He said, no, this ain't real. Nobody hits like this. I'm in here fighting a super heavyweight. This nigga looking like this. And I got beef with Bernard Hopkins right now. Well, he don't know it, but it is what it is. That motherfucker. God damn. What year was that? Like 95, 96, you said?
Yeah, somewhere up in there.
Man, you gotta be kidding me. But not really. This is boxing. I love this sport, but this sport don't like us.
Can I ask you a question though? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, brother.
So you look at somebody like Alvarez, right? And you say you get caught cheating, and they say, look, man, you get caught cheating, you fighting 2 times a year, and you making $30 million a fight, right? And they say, well, we're gonna fine you $500,000, and we're gonna suspend you for 6 months. Now you answer this question: do you think he cared?
Let me give you the slow answer. Nope. He don't give a fuck.
He don't give a fuck because that's why he's doing it, because he know you're going to suspend him for 6 months. He only fight once or twice a year. So is that really a suspension or is just a little fake fine?
That's a goddamn vacation. He ain't got to worry about shit. He can eat all the chimichangas he want.
Okay, so that's why they doing it.
Yeah. You see that? Now, look, I ain't say that. I've been saying it, but every time I say it, somebody gonna come in there and say, "Oh, you're mayate, you ain't Mexicano." No, I hate fucking cheaters. For those of you that don't fucking, you brand new Canelo fans that just got here last year, Robert Allen is black. Hello? I hate cheaters. This is a dangerous sport. Right now, we're kind of figuring, yo, you know what? What happened to Gerald McClellan was a bad accident. But you're starting to hear shit now about what happened in Nigel Benn almost getting goddamn skydiving out the ring, but coming back and then that shit happening, and then we brushed it off as just an accident. And now look at Conor fucking Benn, his son, the motherfucker's whole head transformed. As an adult, that don't just happen. And what Eddie Hearn is trying to do is get him to fight somewhere else. Wake up and smell the failure. The man's a cheater. And I don't think the apple falls far from the tree. So look at Gerald McClellan and wonder, could it be? This is a dangerous sport as it is. You could die with every punch. You could die. When Drew hit Winky right on the top of his forehead and he did the Harlem Shake, do you know if he hit him correctly, he could have died? Bud's last opponent, no one knows who the fuck he is. We forgot already. But Bud knocked the shit out of him. He could have died. This is a barbaric sport, and we're barbarians and animals for loving it so much. All we want is a clean sport. These niggas is juiced up. How many fucking fighters with Eddie Hearn got to pop dirty before we say, yo, you know what? Cut the shit. This is what I'm talking about. Get the fuck out of here, man. Salute the 88 Sports Talk. He says Fury throwing towels over cameras, and that's normal. Exactly. These motherfuckers be 300 pounds, 8 feet tall, still gotta fucking cheat. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. And everything in the UK, Andrew, in the UK, I call it pop culture. Because every other fucking fight over there pops dirty. Now, it's made me rethink everything Carl Froch has done. I'm like, how the fucking Jermaine Taylor almost killed a guy, and then he comes back and knocks Jermaine Taylor out cold? What the fuck was that? It makes me think. It makes me second think everything. How the fuck Joe Calzaghe had an endless engine? His physique did not match that engine. Again, his physique did not match his engine. He was built like a fucking cab driver.
But you also got to understand, in that culture over there, steroid use is not the same as it over here. We look at it as a blackout. Over there, they look at it as, oh, that ain't nothing. It's different over there.
Exactly.
They look at it all. They look at it as that's normal to them. So they don't really look at it as like their rules are different. They don't really look at it as cheating the way we look at it.
Exactly. You know what it's like? Imagine going to a random country somewhere. I'm not saying no names, but you go to a fucking country and you walking through the streets with some friends or maybe your wife, your family, whatever. And you're like, what the fuck is that smell? And you're like, so then you go out to eat in a restaurant. You sit down, you say, hold up, baby, I got to go to the restroom. You go to the restroom, you stand at the urinal, you're looking around, you're saying, there's a toilet, but how do they wipe their ass? There's no toilet paper. You go back, you sit down, you say, baby, you know what, funny thing, if I had to take a deuce, there's no toilet paper in there. And then you figure out, yeah, there's toilet paper, but nobody in that country wipes their ass. Go back to the airport, leave, and never return. That's how I view UK fighters in boxing right now. Because y'all shit stinks. And y'all don't wipe y'all ass. But y'all justify the dingleberries hanging from the air, the fucking hairs of your ass. Y'all niggas is funky right now. Stink ass niggas. Get the fuck out of here. This is boxing, y'all. Y'all not gonna stop until someone fucking dies. And still, if it's not your fighter, y'all not gonna care. Gerald McClellan is a fucking vegetable right now. What's the real reason why all those videos I saw of Nigel Benn crying and shit? Why is he really crying? Why is he really crying? And Eubanks Senior, that motherfucking nigga done lost his mind. He's walking out on stage, wagging his tongue. What the fuck's going on over there? Fucking weirdos. It's bullshit. Wipe your ass. Stink ass niggas. I'm sorry. I can't go off on that tangent. Because I can't stand this cheating shit. It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. And it's everybody, but it seems to be some shit going on over there. So when you're talking about this motherfucker cheating, and you was telling Keith, yo, this motherfucker gonna beat B-Hop because this motherfucker's hitting with something else. It's a problem. And then he pops dirty. Bernard knew to get the fuck out that fight because he said, no, this ain't normal. I ain't doing 12 rounds of this. Where's the top rope? He jumped right over that fucker.
Yeah, he definitely got up out of there.
Exit, stage left, snagglepuss looking ass. Fuck out of here.
Hey, but Drew, you notice something though? I noticed that Bernard Hopkins did kind of do that with punches. Man, when he fought Antoine Eccles and Antoine Eccles flipped him up, he wasn't hurt, man. He trying to get out of that fight.
He did it. He did it. Well, Joe Smith was real. He just was skydiving, and that was the end of that. He couldn't do it.
I think Bernard was smart though because he got 2 paydays out that shit. So I ain't mad at him.
He damn sure did.
You know what I'm saying?
By the time he got to Kovalev, his knees ain't worked, so he couldn't jump over the top rope. He trying to punch out that motherfucker. Man, get out of here, B-Hop. I'm sorry, man. I'm just mad at B-Hop right now. It's something else, though. That motherfucker.
Hey, but since I got y'all on here, man, let me get a shameless plug, man.
Go ahead, bro.
I want to get a shameless plug, man. I have 2 young prospects. I have a young prospect that's 8-0 named Trayvon the Sniper Marshall. Just for Justin DeLose on the March 4th show that Jared Herb just put on. He's a rising star. He got honorable mention as prospect of the year.
I want to get him on the show. Hell yeah.
Yeah, y'all need to keep an eye out for him because he got the goods. I have another young prospect, which has just made DMV history, which is David Whitmire, the body snatcher. He's the first guy that turned professional at 17 years old from the DMV. He was streamed on the card on February the 11th in San Antonio, Texas. So keep a lookout for them 2 young gentlemen.
Yeah, I want to. If possible, man, I want to get both of those young kings on the show, man, because I love talking to those dudes. And you know what? It's refreshing talking to those young dudes up and coming because outside of a handful of fighters we actually fuck with, this sport is bullshit. I'm serious. This sport is bullshit. There's only a handful of guys at the cream of the crop that we deal with. Everything else is just pure games. So I would love to get those kings into the strong house and, build with them and follow them closely. Want to follow them closely, man.
Yeah, just let me know and we can set something up.
Absolutely, bro.
Hey, I got a question, Andrew. I was going to get to that. Out of all your fighters that you train, especially those 2 young guys, which one you think got the potential to become a world champion, if not both? I like.
You ask me, man. I think they all have a great chance because with this sport right here, I actually have a great team, right? So, as you know, in this sport, you can be undefeated and have a good record and all that stuff, and still never get a title shot. So, to answer that question, it has a lot to do with your team guiding you the right way, putting you in a position to succeed. Being able to put you in a position where you become right, put you in a position where you could become mandatory for that title shot. And once you get them in that position for that title shot, it's up to them to do the rest. So I have a bunch of, I'm not gonna say a bunch, but I I have a stable undefeated guys right now that's doing really good. They're always top amateurs. They're going pro right now. But Trayvon, because he's the one leading the way right now, will get that title shot. PBC is high on him. Like I said, he just had a great performance against a veteran guy, which was Justin Delos. He stopped him. He stopped him faster than Staniosis did. He stopped him faster than I forgot the other guy for him. So I think he's going to be the next one or the first one to break through for me. But I have 4 other guys behind him that are all doing good, and I have a bunch of young amateurs that's ranked right now. So I have a good stable of fighters right now.
I want to talk to all of those young kings. I want to talk to all of them because that right there, that's where it's at, man. I might have Elijah Pierce on my live tomorrow. He got some work coming up at Mohegan Sun up here. I'm gonna try and take a drive up there. You know, I want to talk to all the young kings because next thing you know, 3 years from now, they're gonna be, you know, the era behind the Tanks and the Devin Haney's right behind them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, so I want to talk to everyone in your stable. I want to talk to them. Every last one of those kings, for real, because that's where the sport is, right there. That's where the sport is, man. There's only a handful of cats coming out of New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to contact all of this. There's some cat right here in the Bronx that I'm gonna get in contact with soon. But that's where it's at, and that's what we need to be doing.
What's the cat name you're talking about?
Elijah Pierce.
Oh yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah. He got some work coming up in Mohegan Sun in I think next month. So I'm gonna have him on the show tomorrow, man. And you know, there's good stock out there. We just got to shift through the bullshit that they feeding us. I don't want to hear who's the latest big thing from guys like Eddie Hearn, or I don't want to hear nothing from those guys. If you're making millions, I don't want to hear shit from you. I want to talk to the dudes that are actually like in the trenches getting it done, man. I want everybody in your camp. I want to speak to all of those kings, man. I want to talk to all of them. I want to get them all on the show. I want to promote their Instagram, their social media, because as you can see, social media works wonders. Ask fucking Ryan Garcia, who just jumped the line, who's getting a fucking fight against Tank. Okay, I ain't want to get into that. That's a whole other fucking show. But he skipped the line, y'all. He skipped the fucking line. Because right now, there's several people in the ranks that deserve that fight. He's in the way of Tank versus Devin right now. Fucking Ryan Garcia. Tank, you better not lose to this guy. That's all I'm saying.
He ain't gonna lose to him.
No, he's not. I see a violent knockout, but whatever, man. So I got a couple of questions because I only got about 15 minutes left. First question. Your favorite defense, and I think I know the answer. High guard, Philly shell, or cross arm?
High guard, Philly shell, or cross arm. Well, the Philly shell, that's a name they got. I don't know. I'm not gonna say the high guard because the high guard gives people a false hope, thinking that because you got your hands up that you good, but it's a lot of openings in the high guard, man. Mm-hmm. Up the middle, and around, like. Especially when somebody step aside of you or something like that, you got the high guards up. You got to move your hands down. That's the sham. By the time you move your hands down, it's too late. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So before I even go, I teach all that, but I teach them the why and the when. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because you got your hands up, you could be in a high guard, but if your feet slow and your reaction time slow, I don't care if you got your high guard up, you still gonna get hit. So you gotta know the why. You know what I'm saying? So all them guys is good in certain situations. That's the best way for me to answer that. So it's not one particular job because I teach all of them, but you got to know why and when you're doing it. Yeah, because I did it all. I did. You know, that's why I said I don't call it a Philly shell because I didn't know nothing about no Philly shell. It was just a defensive move I picked up from my trainers. Teach me how to do the cross guard, the high guard. You know, I picked it up, so I kind of use all of it. I picked all of them up. I don't just teach my fighters one thing. That's why I named my gym Triple Threat because they can do everything: inside, outside, aggressive, counter punch, lead. So when you just do one thing and somebody penetrate that, then it's easy for somebody to beat you. So I don't just do it. I teach them all of them. And I teach them why and when did you use that defense.
Yeah. That's one thing that I was impressed when I saw you on your fights was you was very you was defensively responsible, and your defense style, and I want people to understand what I'm about to say. You look like a mini version of Evander Holyfield.
Oh man, I make you laugh if we was on a zone. I make you laugh because I got a picture of me and Holyfield. People be cracking up. They're like, man, y'all look like twins. Yeah, I learned to cross guard from him. I learned to cross guard from him and George Foreman though. So I definitely picked stuff up from him.
You see, I saw that you stand to the side, and you had it's like you was peeking through your elbow and you was watching what was happening, but you always had that same arm ready to fire back. Yeah, I picked right up on that, man, and that's
oh man,
that was real.
Man, you got a good eye because most people can see things and don't really see stuff. They don't see what they think they see, so you got a pretty good eye.
Oh man, I saw it all. I was never pro, I was never even amateur, but I've been in gyms a long time, and there's just things that you pick up. Like I found out early, the Philly shell is not for me. Because when I took the goddamn headgear off, I said, yo, why do I look like I'm growing another fucking head? I was getting hit off on the top of my fucking head. I said, well, that's the end of the Philly shell for me. And that was the end of that. The second part that I want to get into the last like 10 minutes or so, Jarrett Hurd. We love the brother. He's we can see that he's learning new things. He's a tough guy. It seems to me on the outside looking in, after his loss to J-Rock, he needed to add to what he already knew. And it seems like he was looking for something to take him to the next level. And I don't think he's done. I just think he like I said, he's a tough kid, man. He's a tough kid. I just think he needs to learn something different now so he can go to another level. I watched the fight. I was rooting for Jarrett. It didn't work out. From your perspective, what do you think went wrong?
Okay, let me give it to you in reverse. I just talked to Jared probably 2 hours ago. Meeting him in the gym tomorrow at 2:00. His spirit is up.
Good.
So he's definitely not done.
Good.
He know he got to go back to the table. I'm not a person to make excuses. So first of all, Jared went into the fight and he had a shoulder injury, but he could not say I can't fight. So if you go back and look at it now that I'm telling you, you can see that he was mainly just throwing right hands and stuff and right uppercuts. Wasn't able to throw no left hook, throw the body shot. So that's why he wasn't throwing them type of shots. So we're going in the gym. We're gonna go get a shoulder check because we went into it with a problem, trying to just deal with it, but it actually was too much, so it limited his offense. That's why he couldn't double and triple the jab. If you notice, each hook he threw, it was a home run hook because once he threw it, if he landed, he good. If he missed it, he ain't had too many more hooks left in him to throw because the pain was there. So you can see that, right? So Jared will definitely be back. His spirit is up. Hopefully he get I don't know a number on fights, but he's definitely gonna come back. He's the best thing happened for Jared is he's motivated. He's not staying out the gym, and a lot of fighters stay out the gym and trying to lose weight to get themselves in shape. So he's not gonna have that problem. If you look, his body was transformed. He looked better than when he ever looked for his body, but he still was fighting off the rust. So he's not gonna stay off. He's gonna go get his shoulder checked out. Even just being in the gym, having this mind on boxing. See, that's another thing too people don't realize. You don't have to come to the gym and bang the bag all the time. Just stand in the gym, having your mind on boxing instead of just out there running around doing this and doing that. Just being around it keep you sharp too. So that's where his head is at. He just come in the gym, see the kids and stuff like that. So his mind is right, and he definitely will be back.
I'm so happy to hear that, man. I'm gonna go to Stormy. I'm gonna go to Stormy because Stormy's a former trainer. Go ahead, Stormy. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask Andrew about his thoughts on, since we got this fight coming up with Tank and Ryan, there's been a lot of conversation on the boxing communities out here, these different channels. Guys are debating whether or not, Tank did a good thing by holding Ryan to a rehydration clause in their contract. And there are people who are pro and against it, but that typically fares from the position of who they're supporting. My question to you, Andrew, because you've got young chargers in the sport, are you an advocate or proponent of wanting fighters to stay close to their fight weight, even when they're not fighting, so that when it's time for a fight, their training and the camps that they participate in are more designed toward being able to focus in on the fighters that they're going to face and game plans and things of that nature? Or do you not mind that your guys may be growing boys, so to speak, and they will have to work hard to trim down, to cut weight? I have my thoughts about it, but I would like to kind of hear something from someone like yourself, and seeing that you've got, a host of young talent that you're working with.
Okay. Let me start with me. When I was fighting, I was never 15 or 10 pounds overweight. So to answer your question, I don't want my fighters to be trying to have a fight date and use 2-3 weeks trying to lose weight. That sounds like a fat camp weight fight camp. So I rather my fighters stay in the gym, stay ready, because that's your job. You're a professional fighter now. So nobody wants to tell you have a date and then you talk about, I got 4 weeks, I got 8 weeks to go, and I'm taking 3 weeks just to get the weight on. That's not how this game is. That's not how this game works. So
right.
To answer your question, no, I don't want them to be 15, 20 pounds overweight trying to lose weight, stuff like that. It takes away from the fighter. It takes away from your ability. When you're training for a fight, you're supposed to be training and implementing your plan and your game plan stuff. If you got 3 weeks trying to cut weight, that's taken away from the rounds and stuff that you could be working on. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize that last week or sometimes 2 weeks is media day. You ripping and running. So if you trying to cut weight and all that stuff, that's how a lot of fighters lose the fight. They lose the fight by not being able to make their weight, spending so much time cutting weight where they should be training and implementing their game plan. So I don't do.
And see, I'm old school too.
145 and a half. I had to give him water and Pedialyte so he can come in at 156. I mean, I meant to say 147. So his weight was good. So I'm not having them type of problem. I definitely don't like that. It's not a good sign, and it's not a good look at him for a fight because it put a lot of wear and tear on your body going up and down like that. Trying to lose weight like that, especially if you're talking about 30 pounds and stuff like that. That's too much.
Thank you. And I'm old school too. And I'm of that ilk myself. But it's hard to convince these young men out here who are watching the sport from a position of being, they're supporters of the sport. They learn a lot because they're interested in it and they try to study, but they don't understand the nuances of how that works and what the dedication and obligations are for the fighter. You have to be in shape. You have to fight frequently, because the more frequently that you fight, especially if you're a guy that's having the type of successes where you get stoppages and you end your fights early and stuff like that, you have to stay on a regular schedule so that you can maintain not only your disciplines of what you're learning in the gym from your coaches, but you also keep your timing, and you keep your shape, and you keep a certain type of mental conditioning, because you're already primed and ready. When you done went out and you done been with the ladies and you done had your drinky drink and your smoky smoke and you done bought all your bling bling and your cars and everything, and you're like, oh, we got to fight in 6 months. Okay, but I've been kind of living on the edge. Let me try to get in the gym. And you're cutting it down closer and closer to camp time. And you come into camp and your stomach is a little bit over your waistband. No.
You know what I'm telling
They don't understand that, man. They don't understand it. So when they hear a guy like me, and I'm talking about it, and they get mad at me because I'm telling the truth about it, and they don't want to hear it. And they justify by making all types of excuses. Yeah, buddy! For what they like and who they support. But you look at a fighter like Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Marvelous Marvin Hagler fought at middleweight his entire career. And he came in such great condition, he could have fought at junior middleweight because it was rare that he came in anywhere near 160. He was always under. Yep. And when they asked Marvin, they said, hey, why don't you move up and challenge Michael Spinks? Hagler said, what I'm going to move up and challenge Michael Spinks for? I'm a middleweight. That's where I fight. That's where I live. And anyone that want to fight at middleweight, they got to come and see me. See, that was the difference when you had a generation of people who understood what discipline was. See, a lot of them today don't get discipline. They don't. And Andrew, I'm sure you know this because this was another question I was going to ask you. Forgive me for carrying it a bit, but I just wanted to say a lot of the good old-time trainers have passed on. They've passed on. Now, they left legacy and vines for people to grab and run with, but some of these guys have discarded the principles of some of the old trainers and subjects that could have helped them, which is why you also see a drop off in the performances of fighters today because the teaching is, forgive my language, it's shit.
Yep.
I listen. You know what's so fun? I 100% agree, but I don't really say a lot on that because when you say certain things, people think you being arrogant. They think you being a certain type of way, but it's a whole lot of coaches. There's definitely it's not a lot of teachers out here no more. And you can tell the guys that really know how to teach these fighters, right? Because you see some of these guys that they're able to fight longer. Because when you're able to fight longer, because you learn the basic fundamentals of the sport, you're able to fight longer like that. Then you see some guys that climb the ladder faster, and you saying, how's he doing what he's doing? And he didn't have that amateur background like this Olympians guy, right? Realistically, right, he has a real teacher, and you might have a coach, so he's cutting the learning curve in half, and they don't see that. So when you have that guy that's teaching you like how to do certain things, it's different from somebody that's coaching, because coaching you, it's like coaching a style. It's like coaching a style, but if you got a teacher, he can teach you the math problem of 9 different ways. So you're gonna have to get to 9 a whole lot of different ways compared to somebody just coaching you one way. So the teaching part of the game is definitely, it's definitely not the same. It's definitely not the same at all.
Man, I could talk to you. I can tell.
Yeah, buddy!
I'm sorry. That's somebody texting me right now. I got something else going on. I'm so sorry. And I got to close this up. But let me tell you something, Andrew. I can tell you a real dude. You know the sport. You're a student of the game. You got in late. And you're speaking like you to me, you're an instant classic. And I think you're underrated. And the world needs to hear from the world of boxing. I'm talking about needs to hear from you more. Because I think you're only getting started. You dig what I'm saying? And first of all, I appreciate you coming on this show. I'm going to sing your praises. because you're a real dude, man. And I meant what I said. I'm not saying this for effect. I have your number. I'm gonna lock you in. Yeah, I want to talk to all of those kings in your gym, and I'm gonna plug the gym that you in. And whoever's in the DMV even looking to get a start, I'm gonna send them straight over there. You know what I'm saying? So they can just see what you're doing. You understand? Because I think you're a breath of fresh air, and it's important what you're doing. And I hope that Jared, hits the ground running, because he's not done. He just needs to work on some things. And I want to see him get that win back. I want to see him running back with J-Rock. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because his story is not done. He was on top of the world, and then he had that running with J-Rock. But you know what people always forget? He could have quit. He got up.
Yeah.
He got up. You know what I'm saying? And this last fight, I didn't see him wave the white flag. The ref just said, "Yo, look, nah, we can't do it." You know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for the young king. You know what I mean?
He'll be back. Trust me, he'll be back. He'll definitely be back.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. I want to get your entire group into the Strong House on my show, man. And I want to that's the future of the sport right here, because like I told you, man, outside of maybe 5 or 6 people we deal with, the rest of the sport could suck my dick, because I don't like how I don't like what's going on. And like I said, I can go on for hours, man. My chat knew who I am, and they know who I'm talking about. And I'm gonna talk about somebody ass tomorrow too, especially. I'm gonna talk about somebody ass tomorrow. And we spend more time talking about fights that's supposed to happen than actually fights that are happening. You understand? And there's some bullshit going on. You know what? I don't have to talk about it, but I am. I'll do it tomorrow because it's bullshit, and people seem to like bullshit. So it's a couple of cats in the industry, and I'm gonna show y'all how janky this fucking industry is. And there's more news coming out this week. There's more news coming out this week about this drug use. Y'all just wait. Y'all just wait this week. I'm putting it all on blast. Yo, Andrew, I'm definitely gonna have you back. You got my number, lock it in. I got you locked in.
I got you.
And I want to talk to all of those young kings in your camp, man. Definitely, man.
Okay.
So I will definitely be in contact with you, good brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right,
Y'all
brother.
take care.
All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Andrew Council. Y'all could Google all his fights. You know what I'm saying? I got to run. I actually have a goddamn emergency. I got to go handle some stuff.
All right.
Oh, my God. Yo, Trick, let them know how they can find you.
Yeah, you can look me up. I'm on Instagram, Trick_Nolte. I'm on Facebook, Anthony Carter. And I'm on here Sundays, some Sundays with you and the Sensei, man, talking with these boxing legends, man. So appreciate you having me on. Appreciate you too, Stormy. Everybody in the chat.
No doubt, sir. Man. Yes, sir. It's always dope when we get like a trainer on here, and the trainers that we have on here, they can tell in 2 seconds what Stormy is. I ain't even got to announce it. You dig? But Stormy, let them know how they can find you if they don't. If you don't know how to find Stormy, then you're on crack. But go ahead anyway.
Man, they can find me right here on YouTube, man. Not that nobody looking for me, because that's what ignorant people do. But at the same time, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, but everybody ain't gonna make it. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Put on a shirt. I'm gonna get on a shirt, a cap, a sweater. Everybody ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So this week is gonna be y'all see. I got some news coming, man. I got some news coming. The more bullshit from the industry that we love but don't love us. But just sit tight, it'll come out. And I'm gonna get on here and talk about it. And it is what it is, man. But y'all already know what time it is. Salute to everybody. Y'all make sure y'all hit up Trick Nolte's Cash App, man. He gets these guests on. I don't know a lot of these brothers. But Trick, he be in the pocket, man. So y'all show the brother some love, hit his Cash App, whatever, man. Man, salute to y'all, man. I gotta handle some business. Everything's cool. But duty calls, man. I gotta run.
Don't choke slam nobody.
No. Ain't like that. I gotta handle some nonsense. I gotta handle some fucking nonsense. This is crazy, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, Zelda, Cash App, the Super Chat. Much love and appreciation. I'll see y'all in the morning. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.